from the standpoint of does your vehicle need an exterior detail? I kind of look at vehicles. This is nerdy information, so hang on tight. I look at vehicles like kind of two different ways. Obviously, we can just wash it. We can do a simple, basic wash, and that would be, what's the equivalent of the comparison? An automatic car wash, right? You know that an automatic car wash cleans your vehicle, doesn't get everything, and doesn't get everywhere. So a hand wash obviously is going to be a better option. When it comes to that's not really the traditional detailing. When we detail a car, every single time I detailed a car when I was at the dealership, it was a prep wash. We didn't call it that. We just called it detailing. Now I've got all these goofy terms and names and stuff. I don't even like to use some of them. But you've got dirt on the paint, and then you have dirt in the paint. And just like our faces, the dirt we could be digging a garden, get dirt on our face, wipe that off, we're clean. But then you go in later and you take one of those white microfiber towels and it pulls and you look at it and it's all brown. There's dirt in our skin. So when it comes to these modern paints, they're soft, they're thin, they're porous. Just like think of a sponge. Dirt gets inside that sponge, you need to rinse it out. So the same thing with the paint. The dirt gets kind of stuck in those pores. Now, if you have a coating, the coating has coated all those crevices and pores and divots and peaks. In this case, this truck is not ceramic coated. We're just doing an exterior detail, and there's kind of two ways to look at that exterior detail. We can just use the chemicals to break down the dirt on and in the paint, and it'll produce a really good result. And then occasionally, do we polish it? Do we not? In the old days, we called it buffing. I can take a brand new car and make it look shinier, but should we is kind of the question, right? Some detailers automatically just the detail is the chemical wash and the polish. I usually try to separate them mainly because for time's sake and for cost. Some people just don't understand the extra added cost and value of the polishing. So why do I want to make them do that? Charge them for it. They don't understand it. I can explain it to them like, yeah, I don't care about scratches. Right. That's not we're not going after the scratches, going after the dirt. Just to kind of give you an idea here, dirt in the paint. If there was no dirt in the paint, then this pad would still be looking like this pad. That's a new clean one. This one probably has 10 or 12 cars on it. Of course, I clean it when I use it or after I use it. So it's pretty dirty. And that's the dirt that comes out of the paint. And that's even after, because I never polish a vehicle unless I've done the prep wash. The prep wash is a multi-chemical process to break down the dirt that's on and in the paint. The hand wash will get the dirt on the paint, but not in it. And we use those multi-chemical step washes to break the dirt down. Once we get it back to the dry bay, it will actually look incredibly glossy. That's most of the work. Then we take the machine, polish it up, and bang, all of a sudden that sucker pops out and is even shinier. We're cleaning the paint. Now when we put a wax or a sealant or coating on, it's going to stand taller, it's going to perform better, it's going to last longer because it has direct contact with those crevices and pores and divots and peaks of the clear coat. Nothing is in its way. If we kind of skip this step or that step, that's a ceramic coating though. So that's why so when we're just doing a detail and we're not putting a coating on, you can skip the polishing step. In this case, I think it warrants polishing. We've got probably can't see it. There's a lot of dirt in like the crevices and those sorts of things. So it obviously needs the exterior detail. And what I like to do is figure out, does it need to be polished? Can we get away with not? So I have two different services. One has just the chemical prep wash. The other one has the chemical prep wash and the polishing. And then, of course, included in that is whatever protection we're going to put on wax. Usually when I do a polishing, I put a wax and a sealant on because you can layer two different products. So what I like to do is separate the two, the chemical wash, because like say 3-6 months from now, let's say this customer doesn't wash it and I have polishing automatically in it, doesn't really make sense to polish it again. We just did it 3 months, 6 months ago, but it does need that exterior detail, that deep cleaning, because why? It sits out, he drives it a lot, he doesn't wash it at all. It comes in here, maybe it got washed one time. So that's why I like to separate it, because you don't want to polish your vehicle every 6 months. it's not necessary anyway.